What's going on, 49er faithful? You are tuned in to Keeping the Faith, Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. I'm JD, and today is officially the day that 49ers rookies report to Santa Clara to begin training camp for the 2025 NFL season. Now, you're not going to get a ton of news today. Rookies were just reporting to Santa Clara, getting settled in, assumedly, getting up to speed with how the 49ers are going to be going about training camp, the schedule, how things roll in the NFL. But for all intents and purposes, training camp begins today. Now, I know the veterans with the 49ers will be reporting a week from today on July 22nd, with the very first team practice taking place one day later, next Wednesday, July 23rd. But we're in it, guys. It's here. Rookies report to camp today down in Santa Clara, and I'm pumped up about it. And here today on the program, I want to get into a few different topics as it pertains to this rookie class. Namely, I have some questions about this rookie class that I want answers to during training camp. What are the things that I'm looking forward to finding out the most about this rookie class as we head through the coming days and weeks as this team rounds into shape, heads into the preseason and the regular season? How does this rookie class stack up? And I have a series of questions that I'm going to go through and kind of lay out there for you all. What's on my mind with this rookie class as we head in to training camp? But how is everybody doing? I hope that everyone is having a great Tuesday. If you are a 49ers season ticket holder, training camp tickets went on sale today for season ticket holders. And tomorrow, Wednesday, July 16th, the general public will get their crack at obtaining training camp tickets. I will be there on Thursday, August 7th for Dwight Clark Day, 8-7 Day, which also is the 49ers and Broncos joint practice session. So if you're going to be down there, hit me up. Let me know if you guys are going to be there. I'm always down to say what's up to my fellow faithful. Also, with that said, I do have 2 tickets to the Sunday, July 27th practice. So if anyone is interested in those, drop a comment on this video or on this live stream after it's over, and we'll coordinate it. And I'll reach out to you, and maybe we can work something out. But I do have 2 tickets available for the Sunday, July 27th practice, if anyone is interested. But as we head in to training camp with the rookies reporting today, there is one looming question that kind of hangs over this rookie class, and I'll get to that in a moment. But it does revolve around 49ers second round pick Alfred Collins, so just keep that in mind. I'll get to that momentarily. Also, I wanted to mention, if you guys want to help support the channel, if you're interested in behind the scenes content, bonus videos, an awesome community chat, other perks as they come throughout the course of the season, and of course, monthly giveaways, be sure to check out the Patreon. Patreon.com/keepingthefaith. All that information is down below in the ticker and the description box. The Patreon is about to go off, and it's going to be a fun time over there with stuff you won't see here on YouTube. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm trying to hype that up and get that out there to the masses as we get into football season, because it's going to be on and popping over there. It's going to be a fun time over on the Keeping the Faith Patreon page. So check that out. And also, again, just to let it be known out there, if you're on X/Twitter, you can follow me at KTF49JD. It's spelled KTF, the number 4, the number 9, JD, at KTF49JD over on X/Twitter, where I'll be giving my thoughts. I'll be putting out pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff. So make sure you're following that account, and make sure you're locked down over here on the YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know whenever we drop a live stream or a video. And of course, I will be live here on YouTube Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, and there will be other sporadic videos and live streams during the week and the weekends and whatnot. But there is going to be a consistent streaming schedule of Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So just keep it locked right here and expect that here on Keeping the Faith as we get into training camp, the preseason, and the regular season. I'm hyped up for it. If you're here and you're watching and you want to engage in our live chat, you're more than welcome. That's what I like to call the show within the show. Drop your ones in the chat right now. Let me see who's here. And I would like to shout out anyone who wants to contribute to the live chat, the show within the show. But with that said, I want to get into my overarching theme, or my one looming topic with this rookie class as they report down to Santa Clara today for training camp. And that is second round defensive tackle Alfred Collins out of Texas has still not signed his rookie contract. And he is not the only second rounder who has not signed his rookie deal, as the majority of these second rounders have not signed their rookie contracts. The second round picks are looking for guaranteed money in their contracts, and there seems to be a bit of a stalemate, a bit of a showdown between the second rounders and the teams, and it seems to be a collective effort on their part. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again right here, right now. I'm not worried about it quite yet. I think Alfred Collins will be in camp on time because the players know, their agents know, the teams know that once training camp practices, full team practices get going, these rookies can't miss any time. It's too valuable. They have too much to learn, too much to get up to speed with, and they have to be in camp on time. So I would think between now and next Tuesday when the veterans report, next Wednesday when they hit the field for the first team practice, I think these second round picks are going to start signing. I think you're going to see a flurry of action on that, part this coming weekend, I would imagine. And I think Alfred Collins will be out there to practice with the team next week when the 49ers kick off training camp officially. So I'm not quite worried about that just yet, but it is kind of a dark cloud that's kind of looming over this rookie class as they come into training camp, and it's still unresolved. And so until he does put pen to paper, it's going to be a question. It's going to be something that gets discussed, and it's going to be, an overarching theme of what people are talking about when discussing the 49ers rookie class descending on Santa Clara today. But like I said, I'm not quite worried about it just yet. You shouldn't be either, because I think when it all comes down to it, pressure bust pipes, and I think Alfred Collins will put pen to paper and be out there with the team next week. Now, I could be completely wrong, and maybe he does miss time, but that'll be a whole different conversation, and we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But as it stands right here, right now on July 15th, I'm not worried just yet. But I do have a series of questions about this rookie class that I do have concerns about. I have some questions, some concerns, some things that I want to see as the rookies hit the field with the 49ers for the first time in an NFL training camp, as they're preparing for their first NFL season, that I think are very important components to how this team's going to look this year. And I want to go through that with you guys today. And I would definitely enjoy some chat participation. So if you're in the chat, make sure you let your voice be known. You guys want to, pose some questions of your own for this rookie class, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and I will try to get to them here today. But I do have some questions of my own with this rookie class. And the first question that I have as it pertains to this rookie class, for me, it's got to be the health of the aforementioned Alfred Collins and rookie first round defensive end / outside linebacker Michael Williams. Alfred Collins has been seen with a walking boot during the offseason due to a foot injury, lower leg injury that he sustained that we still don't have 100% clarity on as to what actually the injury was. And he didn't practice throughout the offseason program. He was seen standing on the sidelines. Part of me thinks that a lot of that is due to the fact that his contract situation was unresolved. And I think that's a big reason why we didn't see Alfred Collins trying to get out there with the team. And I also think part of that is the 49ers trying to play it safe with whatever ailment he has to that area, to that foot, that lower leg, ankle area. They wanted to play it safe, but I have a sneaking suspicion that if he does get his contract signed before practice starts next week, that I think we'll see Alfred Collins out there. At least I would hope so. We'll see. And Mykel Williams, we know the story on Mykel. Big time ankle injury last year at Georgia, played through it, was compromised somewhat, but still played well. But a lot of people are wondering, like, if he was fully healthy, would he have lasted to the 11th pick in the draft? Would he have been a top 5 pick? Does he have a whole nother rung on the ladder that he can aspire to reach? Does he have more of that freak athleticism that we haven't quite seen or we didn't see last year due to the injury? Is there more to Mykel Williams than we saw? And is that how badly did that ankle injury hamper him? And how would a healthy and ready to go Mykel Williams, a healthy and hungry Mykel Williams, look on this 49ers defensive line? And during OTAs and minicamp, there were little rumblings that Mykel got a little dinged up during the offseason program. And so I'm curious to see how healthy is Mykel Williams entering training camp practices next week. If he's healthy and he's ready to go, it's going to be very exciting to see the 6'5", 260-pound just behemoth of a defensive end in Mykel Williams going up against Trent Williams in practice. It's going to be fun to watch because that dude is a physical specimen. He definitely looks the part, and I want to see him healthy, and I want to see what he looks like going up against NFL caliber offensive linemen. And so those are two of my big questions, or at least two of my big concerns with this 49ers rookie class heading in to training camp as they report down in Santa Clara today. Shout out to Papa J for tuning into the live chat. He says, "What up, JD? What up, Papa J? Thank you for tuning in, my man." Papa J says, "Like and subscribe." You heard the man. You heard the man. Like and subscribe, people. It's training camp time. There's going to be constant videos, constant content here on Keeping the Faith. And I'm hyped up. Training camp is here. We got another one. My guy, Fazil, he says, "JD, I'm at work, but trying to tune in. All the support, my brother." Thank you, Fazil. Shout out to you, man. Get your money, man. Don't get in trouble listening at work, man. Do what you got to do. I appreciate you nonetheless. But yeah, my first concern with these rookies going into training camp, like I mentioned, the health of Alfred Collins and Mykel Williams, because both of those guys could conceivably be starters on this 49ers defensive line week 1. So their health is paramount, and their status is towards the top of mind with most Niner fans, I would think, because those guys are going to play huge roles for this team this year. Your first and second round picks on arguably the biggest area of need going into the offseason, being those defensive linemen, those guys are going to play key pivotal roles on this 49ers defense under the returning Robert Saleh. And so their health and well-being should be at the top of mind of all 49ers fans and the people covering this team, because those guys, may very well be what sinks or sails this 49ers season, right? So my second question entering training camp is, who is going to win the battle for the early season wide receiver 3 competition between rookie wide receiver Jordan Watkins out of Ole Miss and second-year wideout Jacob Cowan? Because right now, Jauan Jennings, holdout or not, contract dispute or not, is cemented in as the wide receiver one. Ricky Pearsall, if healthy, and by all reports he is, and he'll be ready to go when the team hits training camp next week. Pearsall should be penciled in as your number 2 wide receiver. But then after that, it gets a little murky. Of course, Brandon Ayuk still recovering from his knee injury. We don't know exactly when he's going to be back. So you can't count on him to be ready to go week 1. Demarcus Robinson with a looming suspension for a DUI. His suspension could come at any point. The thought is he will miss the first 3 games of the year, but that is not set in stone yet. But either way, his spot on the depth chart, at least to begin the season, is not cemented yet because of that looming suspension that we're still waiting to get clarification on. And so who's going to be that wide receiver 3? Assuming that Jauan Jennings is in camp and they get a deal done or a resolution to that whole mess, and assuming that Ricky Pearsall is that wide receiver 2, who's going to be that wide receiver 3 early on in the season? It's going to come down to Jacob Cowing versus Jordan Watkins. And from everything you heard during the offseason program, both of those guys were making plays. Jordan Watkins kind of doing some Debo things during the offseason program, taking some end arounds. Jacob Cowing making splash plays. Jordan Watkins doing the staple of the Shanahan offense with those deep ends, those deep digs across the field, the crossing routes that Kyle Shanahan and this offense are known for. Jordan Watkins was excelling at those throughout the offseason program. Jacob Cowing making downfield plays, looking explosive. Both of these guys are very intriguing to me, and one of them is going to be the 49ers' number 3 wide receiver to begin the season, as long as Demarcus Robinson does get suspended like everyone assumes. So that wide receiver battle is probably like my top position battle in all of training camp. I'm going to be locked in on that specific battle all camp every day, because that's going to be a huge, huge part of how the 49ers offense looks early in the year. It's very important. It's key. I mean, who is going to be the 49ers wide receiver 3? At least until Demarcus Robinson's, suspension is resolved. Now, there's the outside chance, according to Matt Mayoko, that Brandon Ayuk is ready week 1. But if he is, he's not going to be the Brandon Ayuk of old that we all know and can rely on, right? So even if Ayuk is ready to go, even if he suits up and he's out there week 1, you can't depend on Brandon Ayuk to get the lion's share of the snaps at wide receiver. He'll get out there a little bit, sure, but you're still going to see a healthy dose of either Jacob Cowing or Jordan Watkins. The question is, which one? And so for me, that is just of the utmost importance entering training camp. Who is the 49ers wide receiver 3 going to be? And is it going to be Jordan Watkins, rookie wide receiver out of Ole Miss? I think he's got a shot. I'm anxious to see it. The kid, the rookie, can earn some significant playing time this year if he starts off fast in camp, makes some plays in the preseason. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big time. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat before we move along to the next question. Papa J says Cowing will be wide receiver 3, hence the reason Brock working with him in the offseason. I mean, I get what you're saying there, Papa J. He did get to throw with Cowing and Ricky Pearsall during the offseason, but a lot of the 49ers veteran players, when they were asked about the rookies and who kind of stood out to them during the offseason program, a lot of them brought up Jordan Watkins' name unprompted. And so you can't discount the rookie from that conversation. I'm not counting out Jordan Watkins. I'm not writing it in pen that Jacob Cowing is going to be the wide receiver 3 to start the year. Now, maybe he has the leg up, because he knows the offense. He has a rapport with Brock Purdy. Maybe that gives him the advantage. But I'm not writing anything in pen. Not yet. I want to see what happens. And like I said, That battle is going to be probably the number one position battle in all of training camp to me. I can't really think of another one that's bigger. You can make the case, but I really think that one is going to kind of uh, be a big time topic throughout all of training camp. You could see one day Jordan Watkins making splash plays and the media's talking about it nonstop. The next day, it could be Jacob Cowing, right? These guys could go back and forth with good days and bad days, and who's going to look better? And both those guys are not the biggest. Now, Jacob Cowing did add some muscle during the offseason. Jordan Watkins does have a bigger lower body. He's a stronger guy than Cowing by all accounts. But let's see how they perform when the pads come on. And let's see how they perform this preseason. I'm very excited to see how those guys play this year. Papa J says, can't count out Isaiah Nayer. I'm intrigued by the undrafted rookie free agent wide receiver Isaiah Nayer, but he's got to show me. Like, I need to see it before I can make any sort of declarations or proclamations about Isaiah Nayer. There's been a lot of big time freak athletes that have come through the NFL and never did anything. So he can look the part, but I need to see him be the part. Let's see him make plays in camp. Let's see him make plays in preseason, and then we can throw Nayer into the conversation. But until then, I'm not going to make any proclamations one way or the other about Isaiah Nayer. Fly Eastside tuning in says Cowing is going to be a dog. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think Cowing is going to prove something this year. But I'll be honest, I think Jordan Watkins is going to make some noise too. I can't call it, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That position battle is kind of crazy to me. I can't call it. I don't know who is going to win that battle. If you ask me to make a choice right now, I can't give you one. I'm encouraged by both of those guys from what I've seen and what I've read. And so that position battle is just going to be prime time for me. I'm hyped up, and I've never been this hyped up for a third wide receiver battle in my life watching the 49ers. It's going to be fun, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. So moving on, let's go on to my third question with the rookies heading in to training camp and reporting to Santa Clara today. My third question is, what is the pass rush ability of Mykel Williams? Now, all we've heard since the draft is that Mykel Williams is going to be a guy that comes in on base downs, first down, second down, sets the edge, stops the run, that kind of a player. But by all accounts, he's a freak athlete. And everyone's saying there's a lot more to his game than just that. And he had that severe ankle injury last year that absolutely hampered him. So if he's healthy and he's ready to go, what does he look like as a pass rusher? Because we don't exactly know. He was hurt all of last year, not to mention Georgia had him rushing from the interior for the most part. And I'm not saying he's not going to do that with the 49ers. That's absolutely going to be in his repertoire. I mean, he said as much that he loves to rush inside against interior offensive linemen. But I want to see, what does a healthy Mykel Williams look like rushing the passer? Everyone has hyped up his ability to stop the run, his ability to set the edge. But I want to know, how is he looking as a pass rusher? Because if he can provide, some semblance of a pass rush to go along with all those physical traits and his ability to stop the run and set the edge like we know that he can, I think Mykel Williams, I know he's a first-round pick, and so it's not like a crazy proclamation, but I think if Mykel Williams can display some true pass rush ability, like, I think it's a wild card. I think it's a big-time X factor because a lot of people don't really expect that from him. Not in year one. People are saying, as far as pass rush goes, it's going to be, a project of sorts. Like, you're going to give him time to develop. It's not about what he's going to do for you now. It's what is Mykel Williams going to do for you in year 2, year 3, year 4, and so on as he develops and as he matures into his body. I mean, he's what, 20, 21 years old? So the best of Mykel Williams is yet to come. At least that's what the 49ers are hoping, and what they were hoping when they selected him with the 11th overall pick in April's draft. But if he can come in from Jump Street and provide some solid pass rush, I think it could really unlock this entire defense. I really, really do, because you have Nick Bosa on one end. You have Bryce Huff on the other end. If you can bring in Mykel Williams and he can provide some pass rush on the early downs, in addition to his ability to stop the run, and then maybe you can move him inside on third downs and passing situations and let him just abuse the slower interior offensive linemen in the NFL. If he can come in and really provide that spark as a pass rusher, I think it unlocks the entire thing. And I think Robert Saleh has to be foaming at the mouth to get his hands on Mykel Williams once the pads come on during training camp. And so for me, I want to know, what does Mykel Williams look like as a pass rusher when training camp gets going? That has me very hyped up, very optimistic for camp. I want to see. I can't wait. Fly Esai says, Mykel Williams reminds me a lot of Trayvon Walker. Okay, I see you. I see you. Fly Esai says, Jadeveon Clowney type player, hopefully more consistent than that. I can understand that comp. Big, freaky, athletic guys for their size. But I think Mykel's stronger than Jadeveon Clowney. I think, like, I understand where you're going, but I think there's a little more strength and a little more power to Mykel's game than Jadeveon Clowney. But I'm not discounting Clowney in that department either. And I think Mykel Williams has one hell of a chance to be a lot better than what Jadeveon Clowney has been in his career to this point. But I want to see what he looks like as a pass rusher once we get into camp here. We know what he can do, setting the edge and stopping the run. So if he can just provide, some semblance of a consistent pass rush threat, I think it's really just going to unlock this defensive line. And I think it's going to go a long way in determining how successful this 49er defense is this year. I truly do. Papa J with a comment says, we will kick ass because the upgrade within the defense from players to coaching and the same with our special teams. I'm with you. And Mykel Williams is going to go a long way in that upgrade. So my fourth question, entering training camp with rookies reporting today in Santa Clara, who runs with the ones on the defensive line? Because you have to figure you're going to have at least one, maybe two rookies starting on this defensive line in some capacity this year. Who is going to run with the ones? Are we going to see Alfred Collins just plugged in with the first team when training camp kicks off, even though he hasn't fully practiced with the team? CJ West, fourth round rookie defensive tackle CJ West, figures to have his handprints all over this 49ers D-line this year. Is he going to start on the interior of the 49ers defensive line? You have Evan Anderson, you have Kevin Givens, you have Yatir Gross-Matos, who can rotate in to the D-tackle spot in the NASCAR package and rush from the interior. But who is going to start on this defensive line in the rookie class? Is Mykel Williams going to come in and start from day one? Or are you going to see Yatir Gross-Matos start opposite Nick Bosa, or Bryce Huff start opposite Nick Bosa, with Mykel Williams relegated to situational pass rush duty on the interior, similar to kind of how they used Aldon Smith his rookie year? He only kind of came in early in the season on pass rushing downs until late in the year when they started implementing him on base packages as well. Who's going to start on this defensive line with this rookie class? I think out of all the rookies that we have on this defensive line, I think the one guy who is probably close to being like a lock for a starting spot is probably CJ West. I think you're going to see Evan Anderson start at one defensive tackle spot, and I think you're going to see CJ West next to him, because we need to see how healthy Alfred Collins is. We need to see how legit that lower body injury was and get him up to speed. His conditioning is probably not the best, given that he has not practiced with the team all offseason. And I think CJ West may very well be your week 1 starter on the interior of the defensive line. Now, Mykel Williams could very well start, given that they want to have him in there on early base downs, first down, second down. But it wouldn't shock me if they kind of ease him in as well. But I think CJ West has as good a chance as anyone on this defensive line for being a starter week 1. He is explosive. He is strong. He is hungry. He has the attitude for it. And by all accounts, he's been making plays all offseason during the OTAs and minicamp period. And I think the Niners are going to need at least one of these rookies to start on the defensive line come week 1 up in Seattle against the Seahawks. And I think if I had to put money on it, I think CJ West is going to be one of them. I do. Now, maybe Alfred Collins shows us something. And if Alfred Collins is healthy and his conditioning gets up to speed before the start of the season, then yeah, I could easily see Alfred Collins sliding in there with the ones. But right here, right now, like, I think there's too many questions around Alfred Collins to kind of, write it in pen, cement it that he's going to start on the interior this year, at least to start the season. I think out of everybody, I think CJ West may be the best bet to start on the interior of this defensive line when the Niners go up to Seattle week 1. I don't know how you guys feel, but just looking at it, that's kind of how I see it. Papa J says, Collins and CJ West will be starting game 1 for sure. Niners ain't effing around from here on. I'm with you. I would like to see it. I would like to see Collins and CJ West, but you got to think about this. If you start 2 rookies in the middle of that defensive line week 1 up in Seattle against a now Kubiak run offense up in Seattle with Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet running straight at you, I'm wondering if the Niners are going to want to at least start the year with a veteran on the interior, and Evan Anderson, Kevin Givens, perhaps, Jordan Elliott. I don't know how confident I am in having 2 rookies start on the interior going into Seattle week 1 against an offense that wants to run the hell out of the football this year. I would like to see maybe 1 vet, 1 rookie on the interior. Give me a guy with a little bit of experience. If we go out there and we start 2 rookies right away, I think in the long run, it's great. You're getting the guys snaps and experience, and we get all that. But from the get-go, I have a feeling that Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh, they might plug in 1 rookie on the interior of the defensive line, maybe 2 rookies on the D-line total if they start Mykel outside. But I can't see them starting like 3 rookies on the defensive line week 1. I don't see that. So we'll see. But that's why that was one of my big questions is who is starting on this defensive line? Because you have 3 rookies who are going to be vying for starting snaps, once training camp kicks off, with Mykel Williams on the outside or inside, depending on the package, Alfred Collins, and CJ West. So I think that's huge. Like, who is going to be starting? Papa J says Collins is a whole lot of mess that goes beyond, or Collins is a whole lot of mess that goes beyond the Niners situation. We'll see. We'll see. That's what's great about training camp is everything gets figured out. The questions get asked during the press conferences. You read the reports from all the beat writers that are in attendance. Well, we'll know what's going on shortly. The Niners can't hide much longer. Everything's going to be out there for everyone to see. Now, my number 5 question, and I have one more after this, but my 5th question with this rookie class going into training camp is, what does Junior Bergen look like? The rookie 7th round wide receiver / kick returner. He was drafted in the 7th round when he could have easily been an undrafted free agent, but they threw new special teams coordinator Brant Boyer a bone by selecting one of the more accomplished kick returners, electric kick returners in college football in recent years in Junior Bergen. But the talk is like, what is he beyond a kick returner, right? But if he's going to make his mark and earn a spot on this team, it's going to be as a returner. Is Junior Bergen going to be as advertised? By all accounts, Brant Boyer has the special teams unit running all kinds of drills and actually like looking like a competent special teams unit for the first time in a long time down there in Santa Clara. And so does Junior Bergen look the part? Does his 4.5 speed translate to the NFL level when it comes to returning kicks and punts? Because if he's going to make this team, it's going to be as a kick returner, and he has to be a damn good one to make the squad. And so for me, like, who's going to be the returner this year? You drafted Junior Bergen in the 7th round, and if he's going to make the team, that's how he's going to do it. So I think that's a very big position, a very big, camp battle to watch, like the kick returner spot, the punt returner spot. Junior Bergen's going to have to earn his way onto this team based on how he performs by returning punts and kicks. And that's one spot that I think a lot of people are going to have their eye on, especially when the preseason games get going. And I know it's not like a sexy position to talk about, a 7th round wide receiver who probably isn't going to play much wide receiver and is going to strictly be a return man for this team if he makes the squad. But it's a very important spot. This team has struggled for years to find a competent returner, a long-term competent returner. They have not had a guy that they can really depend on and rely on since Ted Ginn. Yeah, Deebo Samuel was great at it, but his was kind of situational. He was not like the full-time returner. He only did it when this team needed a spark and when they needed a big play. We have not had a long-term, consistent threat as a returner since Ted Ginn Jr. And Junior Bergen being a 7th round pick, he better make some noise, or the Niners are going to look pretty foolish for drafting a guy who's a returner only with a 7th round pick. So this guy's better be like the second coming of Dante Hall or Devin Hester at returner if you want to justify drafting a guy based on that skill alone. And so I'm going to have my eyes on Junior Bergen in camp and the preseason for sure. And my last question mark for training camp, and I'm sure more things will arise as we read about what happens each day in practice, but as of right now, my last major question heading into camp with this rookie class, how does Upton Stout look? Everyone's kind of penciled him in as the number 3 corner, as the nickel corner for this team, allowing Diamador Lenore to play on the outside exclusively. Everyone all offseason has talked like it's a foregone conclusion that Upton Stout is going to be the nickel. And I don't disagree with it, but we haven't even put pads on yet. They haven't hit yet. Games have not kicked off yet. Teams have not game planned against him yet. Upton Stout is not a big dude. He is feisty. He will get in there. He will put his nose in it, and he will fight and scrap, and I love that about Upton Stout. And he has, people reminded of K'Wan Williams in a 49er uniform. That's what people kind of compare him to. That's what the Niners themselves compare Upton Stout to. But all offseason, all you've heard is, Upton Stout. He's the guy. Yep, Upton Stout, 100%. I'm not saying it's like wrong. All I'm saying is it's a little premature. Like we need to see it. I want to see it day in, day out. How is Upton Stout doing in practice with him being, the guy at nickel, freeing up Diamador Lenore to play on the outside? You would have to imagine a lot of teams are going to be picking on Upton Stout. You would have to imagine during practice, Brock Purdy is going to pick on Upton Stout. So I want to see, how does he look day in, day out against the physicality of an NFL practice, against an NFL offense, against an offense like the 49ers that is physical as it is. I want to see how he does. And of course, during the preseason, how does Upton Stout hold up? How does he hold up coming up to play the run game? How does he hit? Does he wrap up and tackle well? Can he withstand an NFL training camp, a preseason? I just want to see it before I set it in stone that Upton Stout is going to be the 49ers starting nickelback week 1. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. All I'm saying is I just want to see what does happen. I'm encouraged. I like Upton Stout, but I want to see it with my own two eyes. And so that's going to be a huge position battle. That nickel corner spot, Upton Stout, Trey Brown, Trey Avery. Like, who is going to be the 49ers nickel corner? Do they ultimately cave and have Diamador Lenore do what he's been doing in years past, playing outside and then moving inside on nickel situations? Like, what's going to happen at nickel? And Upton Stout has to go out there and earn it. And he's been doing great so far, but let's see what happens when the intensity gets ratcheted up, when the pads come on, when it gets to be for real. So I'm hyped to see Upton Stout. Absolutely. Filthy Casual says, worried about Upton getting walled off by bigger receivers and tight ends. Exactly. He's a small dude, man. He's not the biggest dude. He has heart. He has all the fight in the world. He's got that dog mentality. And that's all well and good, but let's see how it holds up against NFL players. He was great in college, but let's see how he holds up against NFL talent, NFL size, NFL speed. So we'll see. I have big hopes for Upton Stout. Absolutely. I'm not counting him out at all. I want him to be the 49ers nickel corner. But I just want to see it. I'm gonna have my eyes on it. That's going to be a big area of emphasis for me. So those are my questions for the 49ers rookie class as we head into training camp. Papa J says, I'm not worried about Stout. I've seen the way he plays and where his heart is. He's solid. I'm with you. I'm there. I just want to see it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I just want to see it so that, there's no questions. Because right now there's still questions. The dude's never put pads on with the 49ers. So until he puts pads on, I think it's premature to really say anything one way or another. And I don't think that's like out of the line to say. So with that, I want to know from you guys, those of you that are in the chat right now, watching the stream, or if you're just watching the stream, go to the chat. I want to know, what questions do you have for the rookie class heading into training camp? What are you going to be looking for that we haven't discussed already today? Drop your questions in the chat and I'll try to answer them. I want to know what the rest of you think, how the rest of you are feeling about this rookie class as they have descended upon Santa Clara today for training camp. So Filthy Casual says, did Collins show up? I have not seen anything quite yet as to like them actually showing up. I haven't seen any pictures, any video. There's not been any official reports. I would imagine he does show up. I don't think it's going to be that sort of a situation where he's like away from the team. I think he'll be there. I'm sure he's there. I just, until that contract situation gets resolved, he's not going to step on the field. But like I mentioned at the top of the show, I think all these second round guys are going to have their deals done between now and this coming weekend. There's no way you're going to have a bunch of second round rookies not on hand when NFL teams officially hit the practice field next week. Like I can't see the NFL Players Association or the NFL allowing all these rookies to sit out this, and they're not even first round guys. They're second rounders. Like they need to get their asses in camp. I think the contract situations there will resolve themselves in the coming days. I'm not worried about it quite yet. But to answer your question, I have not seen anything like official, no photos, no statements from any beat writers about who's there, who's not. But by all accounts, the rookies are reporting to Santa Clara today. And it is my humble opinion that I think all the second round contracts that are up in the air will get resolved before the teams hit the practice field next week. That's how I feel about it. Got a question in the chat. John Neville says, what's up, JD? Will Jordan Watkins solidify a position and thrive on this roster? You must have missed what we got into a moment ago. One of my biggest questions for training camp is who wins the early season wide receiver 3 battle. Is it going to be Jordan Watkins or Jacob Cowing? It's going to be one of those guys because, assuming Jauan Jennings' contract situation is figured out, and assuming Ricky Pearsall is healthy and ready to go, one of those guys, Jordan Watkins or Jacob Cowing, will be the 49ers wide receiver 3 to start the year, presuming that Demarcus Robinson is suspended for the first 3 games, as is suspected. And Brandon Ayuk likely will not be ready to start the year. So Jordan Watkins will be in the running for major snaps to begin the season. He's going to have to go out there in camp and make plays. He's going to have to go out there in the preseason and make plays. I have big hopes for Jordan Watkins. I really do. I think he can make an impact on this team early this year. I think he has a skill set that Kyle Shanahan will fall in love with. I think he's strong. I think he is explosive. And I think he can do some things that Debo did. I'm not calling him Debo, but I think we all know how Kyle loves to run those sweeps and the end arounds and whatnot. Jordan Watkins can do those things and add that element of misdirection to Kyle's offense. And so I think Kyle wants to get Jordan Watkins on the field. I do. And I'm curious to see that position battle probably more than any other once training camp practices kick off next week. So I hope that answers your question. I'm very excited about Jordan Watkins entering training camp. If anyone else has any questions about this rookie class, let me know in the chat and I'll try and answer them for you. We are a week out from the start of official practices. The rookies, by all accounts, are in Santa Clara as we're speaking right now. And over the coming days, they will be getting acclimated to the schedule of training camp, how the 49ers do things, what time they have meetings, what time they have field work, what they do on the field at certain times, and when they switch and move around, and when they hit the weight room and when they have lunch. And that's what is going on right now down in Santa Clara. It's basically like a brand new orientation week for this rookie class. They are getting acclimated to the 49ers culture, the 49ers way of doing things. That's why the rookies report earlier than the veterans, is so when everything gets off and running next week, that the rookies know what's going on. They're not holding the team back. They're not holding back the schedule or the operations, and they're ready to go. They can hit the ground running. That's why the rookies report in a week earlier than the rest of the team, and that is what the 49ers rookie class is dealing with right now, getting up to speed with an NFL training camp schedule. And we'll see. We'll see how things go. John Neville's in the chat says, yeah, I did miss what you said earlier. I read an article about Isaiah Nair stepping up big time if JJ misses any time. What are your thoughts? I'm intrigued by Isaiah Nair. I want to see what he does. I could see him making a big play in camp and people overreacting and making a big deal out of it. But I want to see what he does when the preseason games come along, and really, how many snaps are we thinking Isaiah Nair is going to get in training camp? Believe me, I'm intrigued. I'm not over here dogging Isaiah Nair, but I want to see what he can do. The big knock on Isaiah Nair is consistency and hands. And so I want to see what he looks like. He's kind of he's a big splash play kind of guy, but it seems like the small details, the small nuances of wide receiver play are the things that Isaiah Nair has problems with. And so I'm intrigued, absolutely. But if Jauan Jennings is out, you're not going to see Isaiah Nair just step in automatically and be the replacement. The Niners have some depth in front of him for sure. But I will be paying attention to Nair. I'm intrigued. He looks like a fun player to evaluate and watch. So we'll see. We'll see. So other than that, I don't know if you guys have any other concerns or questions as we head into training camp, but I wanted to go live today and give you my thoughts as the rookies report to Santa Clara. And we're a week out, man. We're a week out. I mentioned at the top of the program, today was the day that training camp tickets went on sale to season ticket holders. And I will be at training camp down in Santa Clara on Thursday, August 7th for Dwight Clark Day. So if you're going to be there and you want to say what's up, let me know. I'll be in the house. Also, I do have 2 tickets available for the only weekend practice of training camp that is open to fans, and that is Sunday, July the 27th. I have 2 tickets available, and if you're interested, drop a comment on the video after we're done here. and we'll connect and we'll see if we can work something out. I'm looking to sell those. So if you guys are interested, I do have 2 tickets available to Sunday, July 27th, and I will be there on Thursday, August 7th for Dwight Clark Day and the joint practice against the Denver Broncos. So looking forward to it, man. Football is here. Football is right around the corner. But yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all we got for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all as excited as I am for training camp. I can't wait for football tweets and the practice reports and everything to get off and running with training camp, man. It's here. It's here, and I'm hyped. So with that, that's all I got for today. I will be back tomorrow, same time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on this channel. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you have your notifications on so you know exactly when we go live, and keep it locked right here on Keeping the Faith. We'll be going every day, Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. And there will also be other videos and other live streams and stuff. So keep it locked right here on this channel. I'm hyped up, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more training camp content as we get the ball rolling on the 2025 season. But I'm JD. This has been Keeping the Faith. And as always, let's go Niners.